Hi, Collena.
Hi.
I stay here in Pushkar
Yeah.
for a study. This is special study about the meeting in the body and the Orient and the Occident. No, you are a great artist, a great personality in the dance, in this influence, this trance. For me, it's a very gratitude, very dream in the making now for making this research with you. Okay, starting speaking me about you, about your life for starting.
So my birth name is Colleen Michaela Wedding. I was born in California, near Los Angeles in Ventura. I moved to India. I moved to India in 2001, and I didn't know I was moving to India. I just I thought to myself, I'll go for 1 year, master the dance, and then bring it back home and move on with life. So I was studying dance and anthropology in university in undergraduate. But my feeling, like this voice inside of me, every time I sat in class was, I don't want to read about this. I want to be this. I want to live this. I don't want to look from outside. I want to feel, I want to release this from inside because something resonated, which at that time I didn't understand how deeply, but maybe it's destiny just calling to you. So I came to India to study Odissi. I went first to Bhubaneswar in Orissa, where Odissi comes from, one of the 8 classical dances. And I met a teacher. I settled down. I was learning Odissi for about 9 months. And I had seen this film Nacho Drum. Before coming to India. It was one of the inspirations for me to come to India. It just made me mad with excitement.
Very well. Well, the first time your first idea about Orient, because I made me, I don't know, your first experience, your first image for you want go Orient, yes.
Oriental,
the Odyssey no appear no appear de repente in your life. It's one little it's push, it's massage, it's yoga only. You study before belly dance. I don't know. You stay. What you first connection? You move your stomach, your visceral connection because of no appear or this de repente you can. For me, interesting me for this research in first time, in first level, what the idea the women have about Orient. Orient is one fetish. It's one idea created by Occident, you know. But for you, specific for you, for you, you weigh what the questions, what the mythic is, no. You remember?
Yeah, of course I remember. Because it changed my life. I mean, I grew up without any contact with what we can call Oriental. You know, in my upbringing, my family is very quiet American middle class. You know, so I left my home and went to college. And I discovered about Oriental things. So I don't really like to think of it as Orient and Occident. To me, it was, I first discovered culture, the idea of studying a culture, because I started to belly dance. So I went to a belly dance class, and the idea of moving my body in a way that celebrated my feminine form, my femininity, was like, I just remember that day in class, like a light went on in my head. I went home and all night I couldn't sleep. I was like, what? I was always embarrassed of having curves in my body. Why? I don't know. we grew up watching fashion magazines or something. So, but I just remember feeling, wow, it's a different idea of being a woman. And I was very rebellious, very like punk rock music, very anarchist, very. So to me, this was the anarchy of the feminine. It was my rebellion against the femininity I was programmed, in California, growing up in California culture. So this idea of moving my body with the, through the spine and through the hips. So belly dance for me was my introduction. Of course, belly dance.
How many ages?
I was 17.
17, really young.
Yeah, so pretty young, but I was just kind of on fire, very political, learning about just taking the veil off of things. In this age, like, this is not true. You discover the political situations and you feel so angry, and so I also felt angry why women have to be this way. So I made dreadlocks and piercing, and I was really like, I need to find another way because this is not right. It doesn't feel right to me. So in that spirit, I found belly dance. Okay, so belly dance was my first contact with culture that I could appreciate, it was so different that I could understand, oh, this music, it sounds very different. This music makes me feel, at that time in my vocabulary, I would never say spiritual because I was raised Catholic in this very kind of, we just went to church feeling like this. So nothing spiritual was presented to me, but now I look at it and the taksim of a Turkish ney or the czar music from Egypt, somehow I started to hear these sounds and I felt like something inside moving, but I didn't know yet what that was. So I think it's the beginning of feeling how music can affect the spirit more than the mind. Like I feel at that time I was listening to music, I was listening to lyrics in English, and I was, this is really intelligent, or this is really, rebellious. So I liked that, but it was mental. And so Middle Eastern music helped me. It's like something else was moving here.
In yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I understand you now. You make it this way alone, no influence for
family
or friendly or friends. No, you discover one call, one something call, for attractive. No. Well, when you arrived here, you choose Odyssey. You decided this one, there, but there in Occident you don't prove Odyssey there, or only prove first time here.
No, so I started with belly dance. Then I started to become interested in culture. So, okay, this is Egyptian music, this is Turkish, this is Persian, this is Indian. I started to appreciate the different styles of music, and then I found Indian dance. And in a college course, it was dances of Asia. So we covered Indonesia, Vietnam, beautiful class.
This is very strange for Occidental girl, younger girl, and many years ago, the life offer this all the menu, big menu for you. This is great. It's really amazing.
It was a beautiful
if you know,
chance.
no mother, no friend make this one. It's more easy when your family is gypsy or artists. You come in. Now, introduction here, your body here. When you arrived, feel nothing shock for when you put your body for learn this, all the postures, all the you don't feel a shock and Surprised. You surprise
Okay.
your body. It's the adequately word is shock.
Oh, shock.
Yeah, shock.
Okay.
Shock. You feel some shock when you put your body in this condition, in this mudra. You feel one confusion your body. Oh no, it's flowy for you. It's easy for you. You recognize.
No. There's a story that I tell in my life because what I was about to say was that I study about Asian dances. Mm-hmm. We arrived to the point of India, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathak. Then we arrived to Odissi, and I felt like I have to learn this dance. I don't know why. So I found a teacher in Washington, in USA. Mm-hmm. So I went to attend class of Odissi when I was, in that time I was 19 years old. Mm-hmm. So in this time, as I said, I was very feminist and political, anarchist, and like this. And for some reason, I was attracted to this very delicate.
Very contrast.
Because I appreciate contrast. Maybe my rebellious spirit is like looking always for the contrast. So I entered into the class, and there's maybe 15, 20 people in the class. They had studied with her before, so I was the new student. And she says, okay, we begin, we touch the earth, and we bow to Lord Ganesh. And in my rebellious mind, raised Catholic, that I don't really appreciate, my religious upbringing. So she said, you bow your head down to this God. And I just felt, no. What the hell is this? I'm not bowing to your God who's also a man God. No, I'm not. And in my mind, I had this whole dialogue like, nobody will make me bow down. So this dialogue is running like on fire in my head. But then I'm also a very shy person, so I looked in the room and everyone was going down. So I thought, I don't want to.
Strange for the body reference reference for body occidental is inconceivable.
It's inconceivable, exactly.
You take a pillow, put it if you need
a pillow. It's okay. So it's inconceivable. It's
inconceivable.
I
broke the mind. It's too much.
You hear a story of someone bowing in like Mother Mary at the feet of the cross, but I never saw someone bow in my life, and it just felt so insulting to me, like the most loss of power. So anyway, I saw everybody, so I just went down and my head came into contact with the floor the first time in my life. I don't know who I'm bowing to, why I'm bowing, and I just started to cry. I don't know, I could not understand why, but I started to cry because it felt so powerful to me. Before my head was going to touch, I felt, this is so weak. You are so weak. Why are you doing this? Judgment against myself. Then
your mind.
Oh, and so I didn't understand.
You broken here. You broken your.
This is the breaking point. Yeah. So I tell my students this story because it's an important crossroad. It's an important break.
It's a curiosity. Principal point when you open for the another forms, another gest, this is very. I follow these questions. Okay, it's about the choreographies and the posture in the body. You feel good. You receive you easy in the body. The training when you put it's very hard. Indian for learning is very hard.
I know.
But you concept the Occidental body. You speak with me. You touch me very strong. It's for you. Is one question for you. I follow you. Okay. It's about accommodation in this body, in your body. Is it for the shape, you know, what happened is this shape in your body, you know, when body it's input you or is the encaje, you know, when you your experience the another strategic, another como se diz, disciplines, another form receive this body, no? The Occidental body, California body, American body. If you easy for you, you make it for training for you adquire this gesture, this process, the gestual process. Mm-hmm. You incorporated in this form. If you possible, when you believe you how many times, tell me about this process.
The making.
Yeah, the making this.
Yeah. This is a big process. I mean, I'm still in the process.
You stay in the process.
It's my main focus every day. When I put the butter on my bread, you know, I mean, everything I do, I'm thinking, especially in India, no, the process to put my body inside of this dance, or the dance inside my body. We have a saying, you know, in India they talk about like the guru smashes you and makes you dust, and with her hands or his hands, they sculpt you. But first you have to be.
Yeah,
you need to be dust.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the potter cannot make the pot. You know.
The pot. Yes.
So this is the process. You smash your ego because the ego is in the body. Absolutely. So, I mean, I feel it took maybe 10 years for my body to receive Indian flavor in the movement, because anybody can put their arms in this position and move the head side to side with a little training. But how to give it meaning and how to put your life story inside of a movement that is so typical in one culture but not in your native culture, it's very, very subtle, very patient, very difficult. And that's why I knew I had to live in India.
Live in India.
Because it's impossible to learn this movement in the mind. Because it's not in the mind. So after many, many years, I was thinking, oh, I have it figured out. I took every note, I memorized every step. I was a very good student. But until I met my spiritual guru, none of it meant anything. You understand? Like, okay, this is Ganesh, okay, this is Jagannath, okay, this is Shiva. Who is Shiva? Why he is, how does Shiva hold his chest? What is Shiva's back like? What is the bottom of his eye like? You know, so
you need to live, you need to experiment in your body every day.
You have to experience. Yeah, you have to. So after meeting my spiritual guru and going very deeply into yoga, meditation, philosophy, and really going into the devotional way, meditation on Shiva, sitting in the Shiva temples, seeing how the devotee of Shiva behaves in front of the altar, then everything.
For them, you offer your dance this old experience, your live experience in the city, in the put in the dance, in the ET. This experience, I don't know. I completely your reason. And then you offer all the little parts, your routine in the dance. You know? Yes, you don't believe. You believe all the women can dance Oriental dance if you not offer your body this experience many years here. You don't believe the real dance, the real dance, spiritual dance, the power dance. If she or not live a long time here. What do you think about this?
It's interesting. for me, I had to live in India, but I don't think. For example, I know. Let's talk about only Odissi because it's different for different dances. Only talking about Odissi. Odissi comes from the Jagannath temple in Orissa. It is primarily centered around Vaishnavism, devotion to some aspect of Vishnu, Jagannath, Krishna. So I know Vaishnav dancers in Australia or in USA, and every day they're doing puja, every day they're reading Bhagavad Gita, every day they are inside of this philosophy. And I feel in their dance, this is real, this is alive, how they portray the character is so deep and so rich and authentic. Whereas maybe even an Indian dancer from India, grew up in Orissa, doesn't believe Krishna, so they do only physically, but their heart is not put. Their soul is not inside. This dance, Odissi, is a devotional dance. We cannot separate the religion from the dance. This is the fact.
Okay.
So if somebody is not inside the religious, we call it bhav. Bhav is like what is inside the heart. It blossoms like a flower, which is the bhav. From the bhav, you have a release of a sentiment, which is like the scent of the flower. This is called rasa. So if that doesn't blossom in your heart, then no rasa is in the air and in the fingertips and in the eyes, and the audience, they don't feel anything. Somebody's arm can be in the perfect
only
place,
forms,
but no
only
feeling.
shapes. Yeah, it's a question for me, for my research. If you, how do you think this is the flower? This is a gift. The Orient have offer of Occident body. What the difference for you? It's the special gift. The people in Occident must know about the forms they make a dance. No, I think it's a good connection you make now. How do you think the Occident must learn about Orient in relation this form make a dance?
Okay, I think I understand the question, but tell me if I understand. Again, I don't like to say Orient and Occident because if I'm talking about India, it's very different in
Bali,
Saudi Arabia, and which is considered Oriental, but we're talking about Islamic belief and Hindu belief. So I prefer just to say in Vedic culture, which is popularly known as Hinduism. So because that's what I know.
Yes,
so
your experience.
my experience. So within this context, this cultural context, we have a basic primary understanding which is established in all of the ancient texts, in Ayurveda, in yoga, in all of the ancient scriptures, even in the system of health, which is Ayurveda, that we are not only muscles and bone. We are not only physical body. This is one of 5 layers of the physical body. Is the 5 koshas, which is often taught in yoga. Physical body, then you have the energetic body, then you have the conscious body, the intellect, and finally the soul. So this is like, if we can't understand that principle of the self, we are not only physical, but we are the soul. So you want to dance, so you need the physical body, the mental body, and you need the soul. You cannot separate one part of it. So when we learn our philosophy about acting, like our techniques of acting come from Natya Shastra, the ancient text. Natya Shastra gives us the theory of bhava and rasa. Bhava is that cause and rasa is the effect.
Bhava's is sentiment. It's a
Sentiment, you can say, yeah,
Okay.
like a very deep emotion.
no bhakti. No, semi-bhakti. No semi-bhakti. Bhava is I understand. Bhava, it's a emotion, it's a semi-bhakti, but
So
for instance,
like in Hindi we can also say, oh, kya bhav hai? Bhav. Bhav is feeling.
Feeling, okay.
But actually this is not
feeling
correct.
is good. Feeling is easy.
Feeling is in the mental level.
Yeah.
So bhava is not in mental level. So it's you understand it's a misunderstanding of this ancient concept. People you understand in colloquial Hindi language, oh kya bhav, so sad today. But that's not the original meaning. That's the modern. You understand? It becomes shallow.
Yeah, you put it another intendment in another place.
Yeah,
change it.
it's making it very
less,
thin.
Yeah, thin.
But really, what bhav, Sanskrit word bhava, bhava is my favorite way to describe it. It's a state of being before thought enters the mind. So suppose you you see your mother on the floor, she's dead. So you enter into a state, but it's not, oh, I'm so sad because I will miss her so much and maybe I will miss her cooking also. It's not like, or it's like falling in love, or it's this place that we enter like before we think about it.
Think about the reason.
So we can feel many things. So bhakti is one of the bhavas. You walk into a Krishna temple, it's no explanation, there's no word, there's no thought.
Yeah.
It's just this desire, this bhav. And maybe you meet your eyes with someone else. So, or something funny happens. So we have 9 bhavas.
90 bhavas.
Like
or experience of the bhavas.
In Natya Shastra.
In Natya Shastra,
So this is bhava. The effect is the rasa. Rasa means juice.
Rasa is more low. Is more.
It's only cause and effect. So
Okay.
the first, you have to have a cause to have an effect. If I am an actress, I go to the stage, our technique of acting is that I must enter into bhav. So what is that implying? I must enter into a state with no thought. So if I go to the stage and I say, I am Lord Ram, and so I feel so handsome, I feel so great, then the audience, they just feel, oh my God, this actor, the taste is not good. But if I go to the stage and Collena is not there, no thought is there, but just that feeling, that bhav of Lord Ram, the hero, it's very pure. Then everyone in the audience, they taste the rasa. So it's like the flower blossoms, the cause and the effect is given to the audience. So everyone, like almost as if you can taste something, but it's not in the physical world. It's something less, we say subtle. It's more subtle. So it's not like, oh, her hand was in the good position. No, it's something inside. It's something not physical. So this is bhava and rasa. So this is our explanation of how to be an actress on the stage, how to be a performer. So now you're inside of yoga philosophy. How do you get the mind to stop? This is Yoga Sutra, first sutra, verse number 2. Chitta vritti nirodha, stopping the fluctuation of the mind. So immediately you enter in. You cannot just physically do the dance without really to be masterful in this art form. You have to penetrate physical level, mental level, and then something more subtle. So it's, for me, this is the gift of the traditions here, because we are afraid. I know, because I go to London and I teach Odissi. And I say